Hey everyone, I'm Scott. Welcome to another HEB virtual cooking class. We're so excited you joined us tonight. We got a lot going on. First and foremost, I have to introduce my co-pilot, my fact checker, my Google monger. We thought up the word monger because I thought like a good fishmonger, you got to have a Google monger. So Charlotte Samuel's with us. Charlotte, thanks for being here.
Thanks
my friend,
for having
my
me.
timekeeper.
Oh, I'm your co-pilot and your friend.
Yeah, you know, we went one more. Every week we got to go one more.
Every week my title gets better and better. Thanks for having me. And for the folks joining us, if you guys have any questions about what you see Scott doing tonight, put them in the chat and I will answer them in the chat, or I'll ask Scott and we can answer those questions live.
That's right. That's what we're here for. And just like Charlotte said, this is a live class. There's no teleprompter. There's no stop. There's no commercial breaks. It is straight through. You get to see everything as it happens live, which is also fun, comical, sometimes a little bit sad, but you know what? It's all fun in the end. If you're watching this live from Facebook, don't forget that when we pick up certain items, there is shoppable content, so you can simply click on the item as I grab it, like if I'm doing these fresh poteet strawberries, we'll get into in a second. You can click on that item through the power of the purchasing interweb. It'll take you to where you can purchase that and you can cook along with us at home. We want to thank you for joining us, those of you on Facebook. Those of you on YouTube, welcome. We're excited to have you. And those of you who signed up for our Zoom class, awesome to have you here. We're super excited. Again, Charlotte is here for any questions. We're going to jump right in. We got a full menu, and if we do everything right, you'll be eating exactly in the next hour, ready to go. So if you're cooking along with me, fantastic. Now, quick disclaimer, if you're not watching this in Texas and you're watching this somewhere else, we want to welcome you guys. Even though you don't have an HEB near you, come and visit us. San Antonio is huge for tourism. Texas is huge for tourism. Just come give us a visit. Always know that we are here to help you guys. We are here live, so as you see it, you can simply ask a question. Charlotte's here to help you. And we want to make sure we encourage you guys. This is all about helping you meet you where you are, find out how we can better serve you guys, and how we can better learn you to cook. Did I say that right, Charlotte?
Learn.
Sounded right. Sounded perfect English. It
help you
right.
learn to
Everybody's
cook.
Following.
It's all, yeah.
Today's class is all about TexFest. So we're doing, in our local HEBs right now, going on near you. You'll see TexFest going across all over our stores, which we're highlighting the best of Texas fields to Texas tables. So it's all about these great items you can see in stores. I have some great items I'm going to show you, and Charlotte's going to give us some background on actually where they come from. They are local. I love the fact that, you know, being from, coming from California, I love the farm to table thing, and I love that HEB speaks that language so well. We work with so many great local farms, men and women who do such great work, who have such killer produce, and I love these. And I'm a big produce snob, and I can say some of the best produce I've seen grown here in Texas. Charlotte, we have some, we're going to begin with the end in mind. So
yes.
we have a beautiful fresh strawberry tiramisu. We're going to use some poteet strawberries. Now, I am going to say this. When I lived in California, Oxnard was where you got your strawberries. They were fantastic. They were famous. I don't really think I ever had a poteet strawberberry, and I'm going to confess, this is confession time, I had never tried the poteet ice cream. I never did it. I was just like not a big strawberry ice cream fan, so I never really got to try them. I always went for the HEB organic strawberries. These are my favorite strawberries. I'm not just saying that. They're so sweet, and I never knew the magic of poteet, right? Poteet?
So in California, you go to Oxnard, but in Texas, you go to Poteet.
Poteet.
Yes.
How far is Poteet? I could walk there, right? I mean,
I believe it's an hour or so from San Antonio, but it's the home of the Poteet Strawberry Festival, which happens in April. But if you can't get out there, you can go to HEB and get yourself.
You can pick up these right here. They're beautiful. Look at these.
They're
Fantastic.
small and perfect.
They
and
are,
red
and they're really, really sweet. I'm not even kidding you. I'm a big snob when it comes to strawberries. These are really, really good. If you haven't tried them, you got to pick them up. We're also going to make a Baby Bella mushroom stroganoff, a fantastic dish. So we're kind of like, this is a great one for your arsenal if you're going to kind of do a meatless day or meatless Monday, meatless Friday, whatever it is, especially with Lent just around the corner. If you're trying to look into kind of pick up some more tips on how to keep meat out of the way for at least one day a week. This one is great. It's got a little Bragg's liquid aminos. It's going to really punch up that great umami, like kind of meat-rich like style of the dish. And I promise you won't even miss it. I grew up on the hamburger helpers.
Oh, you said it right this time. There you go.
I grew up on both. But you know, the hamburger helper is how I always remember stroganoffs. This is a fresh one. Charlotte also admitted she's never had homemade stroganoff. I was shocked because I thought Willard would have made you
I've
one.
also never had hamburger helper, so it's a
Boy, you have, so really you haven't lived in, is what I'm hearing.
I guess not.
Will you tell the good folks at home, these Texas Roots organic strawberries, where do they come from in Texas?
So these are grown in Madisonville, Texas, which is just shy of College Station. They're absolutely beautiful. They grow some Monterey mushroom is the name of the grower. They grow some of our mushrooms, like our portobellos, our shiitakes, and then our button mushrooms as well.
I love mushrooms. I know some people don't like them because it can be a textural thing, but they're so good. I promise you'll love them in this. And last but not least, you know, sometimes when you go to the store and you can't find what you're looking for, you know, like there was somebody missed out on some frozen potatoes a little while ago, right? We had a little shortage on frozen potatoes everywhere.
I'm sad.
You missed out on your tater tots. I want to tell you, we have the, we may have, you know, been a little shy on being able to find frozen tater tots across the nation. However, we're going to show you that the next time you ever have a shortage, you can make them from scratch, because you know we had plentiful of these Lone Star russets, russet potatoes, not just in Idaho, also in Texas. Charlotte, a little bit about these Lone Star russets. I didn't even know you could grow potatoes in Texas.
So actually, potatoes are grown all over Texas, from the northern coastal region all the way up to the Panhandle, and I do believe these specific ones, the ones you're holding in your hand, come from the Panhandle region. Texas was made for potatoes.
They're
Get
great
out of here,
russets.
Idaho. We got you covered.
Exactly 2 pounds, what you need for your recipe. You're going to peel these, you're going to get them started. Let's start with, first of all, I've got some boiling water. We're going to move it to the stove. Rob has got the cam. So I got a little boiling water. I'm going to throw my potatoes in because we got to get these cooking now. I want you to be able to have tater tots with your stroganoff. I've got 4 potatoes. Again, this is the 2 pound thing you just saw, our local Texas potatoes going right in the water. So a note on this real quick before we start the tiramisu. I want to make sure when you're cooking the potatoes, you don't go all the way to mashed potatoes. We want to like 90% of the way cook them, because we're going to shred these and we want them to have a little bit of texture. So you want to kind of cook them 90% through. Now, what does that feel like? Because I know when you boil potatoes for like mashed potatoes, you kind of stick a fork in it or a knife, and when it goes all the way through, you're like, oh, it's soft, it's ready to go. Well, you almost want to go where you stick a knife or a toothpick in it. It kind of has a little bit of resistance. You can't quite get it all the way through, but it's still soft enough where it doesn't just get stuck and but it kind of comes out easily, but it's not mashed potatoes. There's a little trick, not going too far, and I'll show you what that is. Also, I have tested this recipe because I'm a big fan of failing forward and failing often, so you guys don't have to. If you do happen to take your potatoes too far, don't worry about it, because you can also use these if your potatoes are a little bit too mashed. If you want to kind of help them solidify up a little bit, simply add a couple tablespoons of a little bit of all-purpose flour to it to kind of congeal it. Honestly, though, I've kept the flour out on purpose because I wanted this to be a gluten-free option for everybody to enjoy. So really, all you got to do is just kind of form them together, let them refrigerate, let them set up, and then you can fry them just the same. It totally works. Strawberry tiramisu, Charlotte. It starts with the following. I'm so excited about the fresh strawberry tiramisu. So first of all, the cookie we're going to use in this, Charlotte's going to talk about, not my favorite cookie for just eating. The ladyfinger.
The delicate ladyfinger.
The delicate ladyfinger. On its own, can be a little bland, which is why you see it in the tiramisu recipes. Usually this will be soaked. The Italian style is more soaked in the espresso. It softens up. It becomes very cake-like when you surround it with all that beautiful mascarpone.
I believe you mean simple. It's a very simple cookie.
What did I say? What did I say?
You called it bland. You called it bland.
Well, bland is like
simple.
Simple, kind of, right? It's just
there are
it's just more to the flavor, to the taste.
There are 2 types of ladyfingers. There's the Italian version, which you have in your hand, which is a firmer,
which are these,
crisper.
Harder.
Yep.
Very dry.
Cookie.
You can see that texture.
Then there is the British version, which is a softer, cakier version.
Which I like.
Yes, you can use the softer, cakier, like spongier version. You just want to make sure that you leave them out so they become stale.
Charlotte, quick question. Poll the audience. What happens if you can't find ladyfingers in your local store? Say they don't have an H-E-B near them and they can't find ladyfingers. What other cookie could you use?
You could use vanilla wafers, which
would be absolutely
wonderful in this recipe. You could use a frozen pound cake, which would be great, or even some biscotti.
I like that. Biscotti also. Yes, a little more time is needed for some of those just to kind of soak up all that beautiful stuff. We're going to start with our custard. Now, if you're weird about eating the eggs, or you feel like the eggs are a little bit weird raw, don't worry. We do sell pasteurized shell eggs in H-E-Bs, so you can just go there, called Davidson's pasteurized shell eggs. So if you're a little bit nervous about doing the egg yolks, I'm totally fine with it. The egg yolks are going to add a lot of richness. I got 6 egg yolks are going to go in my mixer here. I got about a tablespoon of lemon zest. A tablespoon of lemon zest, if you don't want to measure it out, I'm totally with you, is about 2 medium lemons. So I'm going to show you the size. So zesting about 2 of these lemons will get you about a tablespoon. Now, if you go to one of our new things that I found at my local H-E-B, the seedless lemons. I love these. They're a little bit bigger. You probably only need like 1-ish if you got all this zest off, or like 1.5 would be all you need. A little bit of salt. Why do we add salt to the sweet, Charlotte?
Because it enhances, so anything, a little bit of salt enhances the sweetness of a dish, also balances it. In this one, it's also going to enhance that citrus note as well from the zest.
I would have also accepted the answer, I would die without it if it was not in there. The salt, I have to have the salt.
I'm sorry, you would have accepted that?
Salty, I would have accepted that also. That answer is also acceptable. If you were playing virtual
what is
cooking
Scott
class
would
Jeopardy.
die without it?
Salt, you got it, ding, ding, ding. All right, 1 cup of sugar goes in here.
Okay.
So I don't want to go crazy on the sugar. If you would like sugar, you can always add a little bit more. I find that a cup is a good balance because the heavy cream is not going to be sweetened and the mascarpone is not going to be sweetened. However, we are making a concoction with our strawberry preserves and a little bit of water that's going to kind of coat our ladyfingers, which are coated in a good amount of sugar. So it's all kind of about balancing those things together. All right, I'm going to start this. I'm going to start our mixture here. So you could absolutely do this by hand if you wanted to. Typically, I only like to use the whisk by hand when I'm making whipped cream because it makes Charlotte laugh when I go really trying to whisk whipped cream to stiff peaks in front of people or in front of a crowd.
You
so I'm
start
going to
to
use my
sweat.
hand mixer.
It's hilarious.
Hand mixer. I love a challenge. All right, so we're going to make our mixture here. So it's 1 cup of water, 1 cup of strawberry jam, which is about a whole thing. Now I'm using this little Central Market. I like strawberry preserves. I'm going to do my best to demystify the difference between jam, jelly, and preserve. I prefer preserves. Jelly is typically like the fruit juice that's either with pectin or thickened. So there's no really particular, and it's just like the gel itself, the jam, the jelly. Jams typically have a little bit of like cut fruit or chopped fruit in them. And preserves have like the whole fruit kind of cooked down. Well, I missed that one. There we go. Have the whole fruit cooked down. I love to make homemade preserves for a special treat. Just a reason why you should tune in to our... Charlotte, did you borrow this from your grandma? Yeah, this
I love
whisk?
that whisk.
It's about how you use it, right? It doesn't matter the tool, it's how...
The chef, not the whisk.
It's all, the power is within me.
It is.
To make this whisk do its job. All right, so I'm going to whisk this together. This is a little bit of strawberry preserve, a little bit of water. That's all I'm doing. Just going to kind of mix this around. Don't forget, there is a little bit of pectin in our jam. Look at how beautiful this... Can you see that, Rob? Kind of see that? You can kind of see that, right? There we go. So there's a little bit of pectin in this. So what's going to happen is once we kind of start layering all this tiramisu and doing all this, it is going to help kind of solidify when we get it into the refrigerator. So let me show you this. Now, typically, if you've ever done this, and those of you that have done this will know this exactly, when the mixer's on at full speed, you're whipping something, and you decide you're going to take the whisk and just kind of scrape it down while it's running. You ever do that, Charlotte?
Once. I only had to do it one time to know not to do it ever
again.
Did
it rip the thing out of your hand and start spinning around and going...
Yeah, and then I panicked and tried to grab it, and it was a mess.
Yeah, I like to take some unnecessary risks because I feel like it makes good TV.
High risk, high reward, Scott.
On this, in this particular instance, scrape down your mixer without doing that so you don't lose your spatula. It comes shooting back out at you, or your hand gets pulled in. Worst case scenario. Okay, can I show you this real fast? This is what you're looking for right here. So I know we're all time starved nowadays with everything everybody's got going on. We got a lot going on. Look how thick this is. So beautiful ribbons. I don't know if you can kind of see that. I'm making little figure eights. This is how thick I want my mixture here. So in the actual recipe, if you're reading this, at this point, it would tell you, I would tell you, because I wrote it, to take this out of the bowl, put it into another bowl, and then take your whipped cream and mascarpone mixture and then whip that and then fold them together. Well, I, like you, am a little bit lazy at times, and I don't want to have to do the full thing. So I'm like, okay, can I cut a corner? Not lazy, we'll call that rustic. If I want to do things and cut a corner, can I just add the whipped cream and mascarpone to this and just beat it together? Yes. How do I know that? Because I tested it, and I wanted to make sure that if I said that, it would actually work. So that's what we're going to do right now, because I'm going to cut the corner. Because if you make this together really quickly, where's my oil at? My oil is hot. I turn my oil on. Right now, you should be preheating your oil. If I didn't tell you that already, I apologize. I have my mascarpone and my heavy cream.
Instead of cutting corners, let's call it hacks.
Yes, I like the hack a little better. This is a hack to help us. We all get busy. You know, we're all in need of some time-saving techniques. So this is my fantastic hack. All right, our mascarpone cheese. So I've got 16 ounces of mascarpone. So that's 2 8-ounce containers here. I'm just going to go right into my mixer here. My oil I got heating up. We're going to fry our little tater tots here in a second. I'm going to show you just how easily that'll come together here. So when you're starting on this, obviously I've added a wet to some things that are a little more, whipped and a little more viscous in their nature. And so if I turn this on full blast, just know that all that cream and everything else is probably going to splash. So start this back low. I only brought the one thing, so I can't.
Apron? It's an apron.
Yeah, I can't go. You know, I used to like calling it. I still like to call it a smock. I don't know why that is. Maybe
like
that
a
just reminds
second
me
grader wearing their dad's shirt for painting class.
It's a smock. Can be called a smock. I'm sure those of you out there are not offended by me calling it a smock. I'll call it an apron, just to be correct for Charlotte. All right. So Charlotte, I wrote this recipe for a 9 by 13 inch casserole dish. Now, you could use one of our fantastic borosilicate 9 by 13 inch casserole dishes. They're fantastic. If you don't have one, you should go get one. If you're watching this and you're not in Texas, it's literally worth the trip to come to Texas just to buy all of our borosilicate bowls and bakeware and everything because they're fantastic. I was also thinking in a manner of, hey, talk about time saving. If I build it in a disposable 9 by 13 inch pan, I can either put a lid on it and refrigerate it, and then when I'm done eating it, I don't have to like wash it or do anything. I can literally just throw the whole thing away or recycle it. So that's kind of how I did. Or if you make it, then you just give it away to your friends. They can take it for the dinner party, whatever that is. But last night, Charlotte, I got inspired because I was walking in my local HEB and I saw this guy, these K&T. This is a basically like a bread pan.
A loaf pan.
A loaf pan. It's fantastic. And I was like, I wonder if so I bought it, and I was like, I wonder if I could, sight unseen, had not tested it, and I was like, I wonder if my lady fingers, they look like they just fit perfectly, and you know what? They fit perfectly, so I pivoted. So I'm going to show you, the 9 by 13 is really easy. All you do if you're doing a 9 by 13, you make it like a lasagna. You put your layer of lady fingers, you're going to dip in the juice, just like I'm going to show you. We put them down there, a layer of the cream, a layer of the dipped lady fingers, and a layer of cream, finish with a little white chocolate and strawberries, simple. But because we had this, I was like, you know what would be really cool? If I just took my loaf pan, I covered it in plastic wrap. So now how do you do this without getting really, really irritated and trying to figure out how to slowly do it? So I had 2 loaf pans. I took 2 sheets of plastic wrap. I put it on top of the loaf pan, used another loaf pan, and I kind of sandwiched it. So when I'm going to flip it over, I have this perfect little indentation. If it didn't stick, there we go.
Look at you.
So that way I can build it, I can wrap it, and then when I'm ready, I take it out, and guess what? I don't have to do dishes. What? It's all about, these are the nuggets that I hope make everybody's lives that much easier.
I truly feel like dishes is a barrier for people in the kitchen.
It can be. Look, I do a lot of dishes. I'm not going to lie to you. When we do these classes, when we get done, what's the first thing we do, Charlotte?
Dishes.
Dishes, that's what we do. All right, we do the same thing as you guys. All right, so I'm going to do, what do you want to do? Dunk these. It's 1 in, 1 rotation, that's it. Don't soak these until they feel soft, because otherwise, it's like eggs. Once they start to kind of like come together, as soon as they come together too much, you've already overcooked them. So once you start to see them come together, turn them off.
Chef,
the same
check
thing,
your oil
1
on
quick
the
dunk.
stove.
Yes. Say it again.
Check your oil on the stove.
It's off, I turned it off.
Is it off? Okay.
You're smelling the little brown bits in there.
I'm just
You
making
smelling it?
sure.
Yeah, yeah.
I care.
I did the same thing.
Yeah, okay.
That's what a good co-pilot does.
Thanks.
Checks on you. All right, so just a little bit. You don't need much because these are very, very dry. They're going to soak it up. Plus, we've got all that beautiful cream we're going to dump over these guys. So we're going to dip these guys in.
Okay.
Super quick, just a little roundabout. This is where you got to get creative because you can really do this. This is what's really fun about tiramisu is you can really do it in any vessel. Martini glass, bowls. Charlotte, what were some of the other ones you were talking about?
Oh, we've seen it in a coffee mug.
Coffee mugs. So I'm going to break these. I'm going to line this pan with this. So if you have this exact pan or you were shoppable, making it shop it right now, it's exactly how you do this. Break them in half, stack them up. Really, really simple.
Did you know
Tell
what
me.
other dessert is made with delicious cream and ladyfingers other than tiramisu?
Tell me. With the fantastic ladyfinger, you say?
Yeah, it's rhymes with, I'll just tell you, it's a Charlotte cake.
I was going to say,
Charlotte
I don't have that
cake,
much time.
named after me, of course. No, it's not.
Oh, the
yeah.
The Charlotte?
Yeah.
Oh. Didn't you say the peach Melba also used ladyfingers?
Yes.
And I'm going to throw down the gauntlet again. I'm going to challenge her to, I think we need to have Charlotte make a homemade peach Melba here because I don't know, I've never had a peach Melba, and so I really want somebody to make a peach Melba
By Escoffier?
in this class.
Okay.
Peach
Escoffier.
Melba. Because I want to see the ladyfingers used in a different light.
Okay.
Because if you sat me down with the ladyfingers just like this and we're like, here, enjoy, please enjoy this bowl of ladyfingers, I'd be like,
I'm going to make
I'm
you
good.
a Charlotte cake.
Charlotte cake? But if you take the ladyfingers and dunk it in this, that's a whole different
See,
different
it's just
ballgame.
a simple, light cookie so that you could enjoy the
Telling
flavors
you.
of that wonderful cream.
All right. Wipe my hands off real fast. That's all we're going to do in here. So you see I've got this all lined up. We're just going to do the same thing. We're going to build this layer. My cream is ready to go. I got nice stiff peaks. Again, we didn't have to fold anything. Time saving. Really, really simple. Oh, see, this is where. When you were a kid, Charlotte, did Willard should give you the whole list, like to be able to like go here.
Could you imagine if you were a kid, like that's your whole world right there?
It's like it's really tempting. I want to do this, but I don't want to do it because I know I'm just not gonna go there on TV. But this is the kind of thing like where this is gold, and you should enjoy this. And no, I'm not gonna lick it off camera. I'm just moving it over there. I'm refraining from doing so. All right, one little layer of our cream right in the center here. That's why I love this little loaf pan. Now you don't have to go super, super duper thick with this. It's as much as you kind of want. Don't be worried about this. Remember, we got the plastic on there. You just want to kind of get it in there so you kind of sandwich all the stuff together. That makes sense?
Yep.
So far, just kind of sandwiching it all in there. Again, these lady fingers, they've been soaked in a little bit of the strawberry liquid here.
I love it.
So they're going to soak it up. And the rest of that, all that cream is going to kind of help slowly, do the same exact thing. All right, here we go. More of it in here. We're just building it up.
Okay.
So these don't quite fit as well, but you know what? I'm kind of sandwiching them in there. See what I'm doing here? Just going to I'm forcing them. Oh, there we go. See?
No one will ever know.
Nobody will ever know because it's delicious.
How are they gonna know?
I'm going to kind of break them and stack them, so I'm going to do it. Break them and stack them. These are actually really easy to break once you kind of got them in a little bit of liquid, but they are really, really a dry cookie, which is why it works so well. Again, this is where you'd be doing your, if you're making classic tiramisu, you'd throw your espresso, you'd give them a quick dunk. But again, you don't want to go crazy. This is why I like strawberry preserves, though, guys, is because you get those little flecks of the strawberry fruit, the actual fruit also in there, which just helps enhance all this. All right, here we go. That was fast. It was really, really fast. I'm going fast. Layers here. All right, one more layer of the... I'm telling you, even if you didn't make the tiramisu, by the way, if I can just say this, just the cream over the strawberries, over those petite strawberries, is like all you need, a little bit more. And you'll have leftovers. If you do it in the same bundt pan as me, the recipe was designed for a 9 by 13 inch casserole dish, so you will have extra if you use this little guy that I'm doing here. But again, it's all about improvisation. I'm just doing a different little, same exact recipe, just different quantity here. I'm going to just do a little sheen on there. That should get refrigerated and left for you to use over anything. Your liquid can get poured out. Simple. And then I'm going to put more lady fingers. Now these I'm not going to put any... this is the base. Remember, we kind of built this so the top's underneath because we're going to invert this. So I'm just going to put these guys right on top is to kind of act like that barrier for the bottom of it. And then we're going to sandwich this guy together.
It's like a terrine.
I'm telling you, it is. It's a little terrine of fresh strawberry. All right, here we go. So we did our plastic. So we're going to tuck, fold. Ready?
Tuck, fold.
We're going to tuck in there. Look, see that?
There you go.
Oh, it's pulling away,
No
tuck,
mess.
Tuck, no mess. And then we're going to give it real nice snug pull. And there's the same thing on this side, real nice tight snug pull. So if I can just show you this. So later on, after this sits for about 4 hours. Now, yes, you will have to take longer. You may be eating everything else in the time frame that we can do this class all live, but this may take a little more time to set up. And again, 4 hours. Overnight is my best recommendation when you make tiramisu. It just gives everything time to sit. But can I just show you this real fast? So we were to invert this.
What? Magic.
So let it sit in there. Let it sit. Let it do its thing. All right, my potatoes are going. They're getting a little bit softer. You have no idea. Charlotte knows. I've made so many tiramisus. I'm going to give my hands a quick little rinse here. Dunk in some sanitizer. Get that sugar off me. Our potatoes. All right, back over here to the stove.
Okay.
Potatoes are boiling. So again, we don't want to go crazy. I have about 30 minutes on the potatoes. Let me get my little cake tester. Typically, we have these laying around our culinary center, but I typically will just use like just any kind of skewer or anything just kind of sharp. Okay, these are actually perfectly ready. I had the speed, I had these way dialed in on the heat here. They were way high. All right, those are good. Let me show you what that looks like. I'm going to turn this off. I'm going to drain them, and then I'm going to show you exactly what the texture is like. Where'd all my towels go? Right back here. Right where I put them. Right where you put them, Scott. All right, I got a little colander over here. Drain them out, let them sit. They're going to steam for a quick second.
Okay.
Which is exactly what we want. Let them steam. Let them do their thing.
So, like, are we evaporating extra moisture?
100%.
What's happening? Okay.
All right, Rob, I'm gonna move this guy right here. Center, what do you think? That work? There we go. All right, beautiful. Here we go. All right. So, we did our tiramisu. That is resting. Right? We have our taters. They're resting. I'm going to show you the tater tots right now because we need to get them cooled off, and then we'll start our main course. How am I doing on time, Charlotte? Am I right?
Oh, you got plenty of time.
Okay. Tater tots.
We're not even halfway there.
This is my thing. Good. did that tiramisu fast. See how fast you can do the tiramisu? If you cut a little corner, you do a few hacks, you can cheat the system a little bit. And that's what it's all about, trying to get some time back. I was afraid I just put that. What you can't see on camera is we have all these little things that we kind of lay precariously on things as we're kind of moving along. And we'll see if you hear a crash later, just know all my lady fingers went to a better place. They went off the edge of the table there, but that's all right. All right, so I have my potatoes. So the texture of this, and I'll show you with my knife here. Just use a little boning knife. So these are already shredded, but the texture of this is not quite like a mashed potato. So see, when I stick the knife in and I leave it, it's not going to rip the potato. You see how the potato's still got some pretty good integrity. So it's like it'll push in, but it doesn't just go straight through with no pushing. It's got a little. These are actually perfectly cooked.
Okay.
The more you do this, hey, I mess up plenty too. It's called failing forward. When we do it, it's just do it in repetition. You'll eventually get it. But yeah, enough little push to where it's not completely falling apart, but it just has a little bit of that give in there. All right, I'm going to get my shredder.
While you find your
Box
shredder,
grater.
The first tater tot was invented in.
Is this going to be a quiz? Is this like a?
There's a quiz later.
Right.
1953 by Greg Golden Company, and you know what they did? You know why they invented the tater tot?
Why? What was the?
Which is actually trademarked, but
is it?
They had leftover potato pieces.
Oh, so it's just out of necessity to be like,
they're like, what are we going to do with all this waste? And that was the birth of one of my favorite deep-fried treats.
And what was the company's name that
it was Greg Golden. I believe it's like.
Did you say, was it Ore-Ida?
Ore-Ida. Now Ore-Ida.
Now called Ore-Ida. So it makes me wonder, what else did that? It was just one guy, right?
Yeah.
What else did he invent?
Who knows?
Who does know? Who does know? But you know who might know? Our Google monger, Charlotte Samuel, the Googler, the great Googler of all Google things.
The best moniker ever.
Moniker.
The Google monger.
We changed. Everything just changed. You changed your title. All right, I have some shredded potatoes again. These are about 90% cooked. Don't forget, we are going to fry these. My quick frying tip. So my oil's nice and hot. Obviously, I've been doing some frying in here. What I love about my, I'm using a Cocina-ware Dutch oven. So this is what I love about these. Is number one, it's so affordable when you come looking at the prices typically online of like actual like enamel style cast iron skillets. They're astronomical. This one is under $40. It's fantastic and it regulates the heat so well to fry in. Also, this fry thermometer, I recommend getting one of those. You don't want to just turn on some oil on your stove and just walk away to give the kids a bath or whatever it is and come back and then you add things to it, it just goes exploding. Get one of these thermometers. It'll help you kind of keep the temperature maintained. What'll also help you is using a cast iron skillet to fry in. Whenever I'm frying from home, always using cast iron because it holds the heat so well that you don't get all that fluctuation of kind of going up and down and up and down. So we want to hold this between like 350 and 375 for tater tots. Now we're going to fry with some cold tater tots that have kind of been resting, but if your oil starts to skyrocket, you're like, whoa, I'm at like 410. Do this, my simple thing. Don't try to don't try to move it. Just turn off your heat. Add some fresh cold oil, just fresh oil to it. It'll help lower the temperature of your oil a little bit faster than trying to just let it cool. So adding a little fresh oil to it is the best way to kind of get that oil back to a normal temp, which is kind of what I did. I want to keep these tater tots gluten-free just because I wanted everybody to be able to enjoy them. It's really, really good. And again, we don't want to spoil like French fries. They don't throw those in flour, right? I mean, they can, but we want to make sure they're easy. 2 eggs are going in here. That's our binder. Sour cream, again, a little bit of flavor. So imagine, if you will, a good baked potato, right? We want to have a little bit of that kind of fry thing here. I think I overfilled my tool utensil, Charlotte.
Oh, you were overzealous with
I was overzealous on my tools.
Tools.
All right, that's all right. Because I like to use all the kitchen tools. All right, and then some real simple spices here. All right, a little bit of white pepper. A little goes a long way. I love white pepper and potatoes.
Great combo.
It just has a really different flavor. It's not quite like, black pepper has a little bit of that back spice, where I feel like white pepper has a really nice kind of floral note that just kind of picks up potatoes. Okay. A little bit of Bragg's. So this is where we're going to add a little bit of that salt. So the Bragg's is going to give us more of that umami flavor. Honestly, when you're eating these tater tots, when you have the Bragg's in there, or the Bragg, I keep wanting to call it Bragg's.
I call it Bragg's.
Is that just me?
No, it's me too. It's like we're saying it's like Bragg's.
His name is Mr. Bragg.
And
Mr. Bragg.
Their liquid aminos.
It's liquid aminos. Will you talk a little about what liquid aminos is? I know what it tastes like.
It's a delicious fermented thing that has all of your essential amino acids that you need.
And it's full of umami flavor.
Yes.
So much umami flavor.
And the umami comes from the fermentation.
Oh, I love that. See, there you go.
Yeah.
But it has a really nice saltiness, and that's what we're using Bragg's two places. Here in our tater tots to really amp up the flavor. We're also going to use it in our stroganoff because we really want to transform this into a really rich, like, you know, almost meat-style substitute that you will not miss at all because it's so rich and delicious. All right, we're going to mix this all up. These are our shredded potatoes. This is our mixture here. Just get it all. It's going to look a little messy at first. That's what it's all about.
The umami from the fermentation is what gives you that, like, savory note that you find from, like, meat or like roasted chicken or bouillon, something like that, where it's very like savory, and it has the same effect. So when you add that to mushrooms or potatoes, you get that same feeling without having to eat, you know, the roasted chicken or the bouillon, right?
And also, Charlotte, I love the fact that we are using potatoes. We're using potatoes here, sure, but in that, the mushroom stroganoff, we're using the mushrooms have a lot of natural glutamate as well. So they have a lot of that natural umami. So we're like upping the ante of our umami flavor. All right, let me show you this. I got really, really excited earlier, and I made a bunch of tater tots for all my friends. I also know, Charlotte told me, how many tons of potatoes do people eat in a year? Is it
Americans
tots or all
eat
tots? Give me the tots.
70 million.
70 million.
Pounds.
70 million pounds
of
total American, not each American. That's total.
And then there's me.
Okay, there's you.
And then there's me.
Which is why you see I've made a pretty good tray here. It's what one recipe will make you, all the little tater tots. This is great. So what I love to do here, how you're going to do these, first of all, let's test the fryer over here.
So I mean, they took something that was like waste and turned it into a product. Now,
which I love.
They have to take whole potatoes, whole fields of potatoes to make something.
Yeah.
I love it. What an idea.
All right, my little supple tater tots. We're just going to go right in the oil there. I could turn that up for sure. Oil got a little, that's all right. We're still boiling. We're all right. I'll give it a second. Now, when it comes to taking risk over hot oil, you can see we're kind of bubbling. If the oil's not hot enough, just kind of dangle it in the oil just for a second. Obviously, do not drop your tater tot from heights because then that oil that's nice and hot will splash all over you.
Yes, not a high dive.
A little lower, right in, so you don't get all that splashing. That's how you fry. And obviously, always lay fried food away from you. Yes, you don't want to take as many risks as we do here. I typically can't feel the tips of my fingers anymore, so I don't notice it as much. But for you at home, be
Did you just
careful.
say you don't have feeling in the tips of your fingers?
I have no more feeling in the
Me
tips of my
either.
fingers.
I could, like,
I don't even know if I were to like
steaks.
get fingerprinted. These two fingers, most importantly, they have like zero of the little like stuff on there, like little grabby.
Your
what's the word?
fingerprints. Your
Yeah,
fingerprints.
but not a fingerprint. It's like the little. I want to go deeper than just the fingerprint. I want like what's the little circular thing? What's that called? A scientific
The
term for
ridges
that.
of like.
It's probably some kind of epidermis.
Someone in biology.
Something on there. We'll just fill in the scientific word here. But I don't have much more of that feeling. But you want to make. I want to make sure you have plenty of feeling in your fingers. So just be very careful. All right, we're going to start frying those tater tots. So how we're going to do this? Just get a little scoop. This is one of Charlotte's favorite tools. Just a nice little scoop, like a 2 ounce, 3 ounce, however big you want to go. And because again, you want to let these sit. Now you can refrigerate this, which is what the recipe will call for about half an hour to make sure that they get nice and solidified. They kind of just help them solidify. It's a better word than using solid, solidify. They will gel better. That's what I'm trying to look for. I'd like to buy a vowel, please. Gel better. That's what you want. You want them to kind of all rest. You want the potato starches to kind of all, act like glue here.
These are the biggest tots. I'm so happy about this.
You don't want small tots. I want you to be able to grab 2 tots and feel like you got a substantial amount of potato. So I'm just going to kind of roll these up. Now, obviously, you can get as creative as you want. If you have molds, man, put them in we have those little Texas molds. I know you can find at H-E-B, those little candy molds. You could totally mold out your tater tots in whatever shape you want.
Texas tots? Texas tots. That's it. I just created a new product.
Well, there's also those little hearts. I've seen the little heart ones, those little molds that are really, really cool with the hearts.
Y'all look for Texas tots in the freezer section.
Texas tots. Yeah, you're gonna brand it?
Yeah.
Charlotte Samuel, patent pending. Patent and license pending. All right, we're gonna throw these on there. So that's it. I'm gonna refrigerate that. I told you I made a lot of tater tots for Charlotte. The great news is if you're doing this for like a party or something like that, You can make these in advance. In fact, you're better off, if I'm going to be honest with you, if you have a party coming up that you want to do tater tots at, make them the day before, refrigerate them and cover them, and that way when you're ready to go, just pull them out and then fry them as needed. All right, my oil's getting nice and hot here. I'm going to put this in there. Are we ready to go on the stroganoff?
Born ready.
Yeah, all right, let's do this. All right, we're going to start the stroganoff. It starts with some aromatics. I'm going to move my cutting board for a second here.
Okay.
Because I'm going to do a little stroganoff 101 here. All right, 2 pounds of these guys, the Baby Bella mushrooms, our local Baby Bella mushrooms. In my container here, my liquid, a little bit of vegetable stock, a little bit of dry vermouth. Why do we like dry vermouth, Charlotte? We talk a lot about dry vermouth. Oh my gosh,
it's just this wonderful aromatic fortified wine. It has a little bit of spice in it. It has some herb in it. And it just, you know, we always talk about, or we laugh about how we never want to pour anything. We don't want to waste our wine in the sauce. Yeah. But the truth is, we don't want to waste our wine in the sauce. And vermouth is a really inexpensive like item you can purchase that elevates the flavor of any sauce, soup, whatever.
Yep.
And you can open it and keep it in your fridge, and you don't have to worry about like, oh my gosh, is this going to spoil or whatever.
Yeah, it's like, it's okay if it does. I think it tastes better when it does. All right, our ingredients, really, really simple. A little flour, we're going to thicken up our roux. Now the pasta we're going to use, if you can't find the 12 ounces of pasta, it's totally fine. I've got a couple of hacks for you. If you wanted to, you could pre-cook your pasta and then use it. If you want to use penne, whatever you want to use. I like the egg noodles, but honestly, for this application, I'm going to use these Central Market egg pappardelle. These were plentiful at the HB I went to, and they're great. It's about 8 ounces. This is perfect, and these are beautiful big nests of these noodles, and they look great in stroganoff, and they taste great. But we're not going to pre-cook these because we're going to build all this great flavor in our pan here. The thyme, the garlic, this Dijon. We're going to add a little Greek yogurt to it. We've got a little white wine. We've got our stock. All this stuff is going to go together. So we want to make sure that our noodles soak all that up. So when you eat the noodle, it's not kind of like par cooked in water. It's all cooked in all flavors. That's what we're going to do. So it's, in the recipe, it calls for exactly that.
So what I'm hearing is you are making a one-pot stroganoff.
Yes. One pot saves time. I'm going to show you my hack. If you've never watched this before, I like my garlic to melt away. I don't want to eat any little chunks of it. I like to zest. I think Charlotte and I both like to zest our garlic. I'm going to use 5 cloves. Charlotte, you all right with that? I know you're a little garlic.
Go ahead and make it 6.
And oh, living dangerously nowadays, huh? You're going to go one more clove of garlic on there. I like to zest these because that way all the oil from the garlic itself, all of this great flavor will just completely evaporate into the actual sauce, and you just get that beautiful essence, and it's very, very even versus like nobody wants to get a big chunk of, maybe you do. I don't know if you like raw garlic, then great. But nobody probably wants, most people probably don't want that big chunk of raw garlic that they bite into with their...
Only if everybody else at the dinner party is eating chunks of garlic.
Is eating the raw chunks of garlic. Well, in that case, like I'll go the garlic confit all day. I like that. I'm a big fan of that. All right, hot pan. Butter goes in. So you're going to use a little bit of butter, and we're also going to use a little bit of olive oil. Why are we going to do that? Because we want to kind of take down the, we're going to take up the temperature of the actual olive oil. A little brown butter, even better. Our shallots and garlic go right in. And we're going to start sauteing this bad boy. Oh yeah. So the butter adds flavor, right?
Yes.
Our olive oil is just going to help kind of evenly cook everything. Nice and toasted. Again, good hot pan. Already got some caramelization. My thyme I like to add in whole. Reason being is because I love the fact those stems.
Love that sound.
Such a great sound, the popping, right? Those stems have a lot of great thyme flavor. A lot of your herbs that you use, cilantro, parsley, all these things have a lot of great flavor infused in those stems. And so by adding the stems whole, we can just pick them out later. They're big enough to where you can just grab them, but all those little leaves will pull off and they'll kind of emulsify in the sauce. All right, mushrooms are going in.
Sorry to interrupt you, but those herbs are actually grown in Pearsall, Texas.
Wait, which ones?
The thyme.
The thyme is?
Yeah.
That's right. That's Patty's Herbs.
Yeah.
Our good friends at Patty's Herbs, they do a great job. Again, locally, I could definitely walk there.
Yeah.
It'd be a strain. I'd need probably a water pack.
I'll
maybe
meet
one
you
of those
there.
helmets.
Go ahead.
You gonna drive? That kind of defeats the whole purpose of making it like a walking trip to go visit some of the farms, right? You've done a marathon, haven't you? Have you done a marathon?
I've done like a 5K, bro.
So you're basically there, right?
Yeah.
It's like,
almost
just a few more miles. You're close. All right, the sauce we're going to use, we're adding, so instead of a sour cream, we are actually going to add a Greek yogurt. So I'm inspired by my dietitian friends. Charlotte, the class you did with the dietitian, you did yogurt, showed all the great alternatives that yogurt can provide. I actually love this in there because We're adding a little bit of fermented food to this. I feel like it makes it a little bit healthier. I don't know that. I'm not a doctor, which also the reason why it makes me an expert is because I can just act and like play like a doctor.
It's a nutrient-dense food, and we love it. And
it adds a little more sour flavor.
And stroganoff is one of the most versatile recipes. They make it from everywhere from Japan to Finland, and they add all sorts of, local.
Kind of different twist to it. I love that. It's just good food. It's just easy. A little salt. I'm going to pull out some of that moisture. There's a lot of water in our mushrooms. As far as like mushrooms, I just kind of either dust them off or wash them off. It's whatever you want to do. They're really, typically every mushroom that I get from H-E-B is usually in really, really good shape. So a little rinse under some cold water, a little brush off for the whole ones, and you're good to go.
I usually inspect them, brush off if there's any clumps of dirt or anything like that with a damp paper towel.
That's all you need. A little Dijon mustard, which will also help kind of emulsify this sauce, because again, we have a lot of starch coming from our pasta noodles. How excited are you about that, Charlotte? These little beautiful nests of egg pappardelle. All right, a little bit of our mustard, a little bit of our yogurt. We have our stock, our wine, and our brags all together here. And I got a little flour. So the flour is just to kind of tighten everything up a little bit. Kind of makes a little bit of a velouté or a gravy. Now I know you can see the top that's going on right now. Can you see, Rob? Can you see what's floating in my oil right there?
Look at those guys.
But they're not. We're not there yet. We're not there yet, Charlotte. These are not. These are. Dude, look at these. Come on.
Ooh-wee. Are they crispy?
Like golden. They're getting there. I'm gonna go to they are like golden to the point of like.
All right.
Whoa.
Okay.
Like I'm gonna serve those up to you. I'm really kind of excited to see what our tiramisu does. I haven't plated it. When I did this with you guys, this is no joke. I have not unplated it that way. So last night when I was like, I wonder, that little tiny light bulb, it's like you could barely see it. It's an LED bulb, but it's very, very small.
I wish I could have been there to see.
And I was like, I wonder if I could do it like this. And so I've got it in there. So so you'll see, this is unscripted. It's all live. So we're going to find out if it actually held together or if it's like, wah, wah. Either way, it's still going to be delicious, and I'll serve that cream that I've got saved.
I'm taking bets in the chat now.
Taking bets in the chat now. Charlotte will, can we auction off? We can auction off your Volvo, right?
Oh, perfect.
I feel like we've done that a couple times. We try to always auction off, but she never goes for it. So eventually, I feel like another 6 months, and we can probably get it auction off, something like that. Something we can do is in the chat, so that makes it a little more interesting. All right, so you can see my tater tots. This is all going. This is going to start to release a lot of liquid. Again, there's a lot of, first of all, when you think about like local produce, look at how beautiful these mushrooms are. These mushrooms, these guys right here, like literally Madisonville, Texas, not too far away. You said this right next to
it's near College
Texas
Station.
A&M, College Station?
Yeah.
Look at this. I mean, they're just beautiful, beautiful mushrooms. It's a really, really hearty dish, which I love. You can use them whole if you want to as well. I just like to leave them, I like them sliced. I love all that flavor. All right, so you can see this is moving here.
We also have sliced baby bellas as well. So
sliced baby bellas. I love
a little easier on yourself as well. Buy them already sliced.
I love mushrooms. It seems like most people in the chat are like mushroom fans. Yeah. Big fans of mushrooms.
Yeah, Megan Anderson says the portobello mushrooms are delish at
They are
H-E-B.
delish.
I agree, Megan.
Look at that. See this tater tot? It's got your name on it, Charlotte. I'm going to keep going here. I'm going to turn my oil up just a little bit more. I'm like it. It's like right at the 345 mark. It's like perfect. All right, flour's going to go in here.
You can also get, we do carry a mini tabletop fryer, the chef style.
So let me ask you.
I have one.
You have one? All right.
I have one. I have one.
What I love about the big Pitco fryers that we have, you can they have a nozzle where you can dump them out like in restaurants. Yeah. But that one I'm like, so what do you do when you're frying it? Like you have to dump the whole thing out?
It's easy. You just take the heating element out and you pull out the little thing and then you strain your oil through a coffee filter and a thing. And then you put it in a jar.
And you just leave it on the counter?
No, you put it in a cold, dark place, preferably the refrigerator, and then use it again.
All right, the stock, the wine, and look at these, look at that. Yogurt's going to go in, and the Dijon mustard here. Make a little spoon. Again, this is all stuff that's going to add a lot of body and flavor to our actual sauce here. I'm going to give us a little stir with my spoon. Should kind of break up the yogurt, so all of a sudden, it looks really, really creamy, right? We have that little element. A little bit of that dairy in there. God,
Wait,
smell.
did you just add the? Did I miss the?
You did.
You add the yogurt?
Add the yogurt. Yogurt's in.
Did you know that Joy on Facebook just
Yeah.
said at that exact moment that she also uses yogurt in her stroganoff?
Really?
So you're not alone in this.
I'm not alone.
You're not
in
alone
the
in this.
stroganoff yogurt universe. See?
Yeah.
That validation feels so good to me that I feel like I'm like, you never know what, somebody's like, yogurt and stroganoff? That could be weird.
I mean,
it could be,
I
never
think
know.
you can
Never
use
know.
yogurt and,
use it anywhere.
sour cream interchangeably in some things.
Look, I watched this thing called HB Virtual Cooking Class. There's a chef on there named Charlotte. You may or may not know her. She did a class with one of our dietitians about different ways to use Greek
Yes.
yogurt, and they used it in place of mayonnaise. All these things where you're
Yes.
like, hey, how do I get a little more of that fermentation, that gut microbiome? I could tell you more, but that's as
You
far as my
watched my
knowledge
class.
could go.
You watched my class.
Of course, I watch your classes.
Thanks, man.
Of course, I watch your classes.
I can quit now.
I check them out. I watch them. I'm like, it's called supporting. All right, so you see we've got it. As soon as it starts to boil here, our noodles are going to go in. This is going to be up to the last second here. Our noodles are going to go in. So
look at
fight
this.
the urge right now. Fight the urge, because these are really crispy noodles, to fight the urge to kind of like smash them, because it'll kind of separate everything. Just throw everything in there. We're going to kind of gently kind of push them down in this. Again, there's enough stock in here that's going to cook that. If you are using like a 16-ounce package of the noodles, of our HB egg noodles, simply add like a half a cup more of the broth and just let it cook down. Eventually, it'll absorb all of it and it'll get really nice and thick. These tater tots, Charlotte, are like,
I'm really excited.
I think they're
It's killing. The
perfect.
suspense is killing me.
all right. Well,
I
this
have
is
a
going. I'm going to turn this
question.
up.
One of our viewers wants to know if they can't find the Bragg's
Yes.
liquid aminos. How do you feel about coconut aminos?
Perfectly fine.
Okay.
Better than you'd think I'd feel.
Okay.
Really, really good about it. I feel really, really good. If you can't find coconut aminos, you can always use like tamari or soy sauce. You
Yeah.
can always use something like that. Again, just kind of kicking up that umami flavor.
You could also put a little bit of tomato paste in there.
Yeah, anything that'll kind of get the umami flavor going.
And then
I want to keep going on those. I'm going to keep going.
I
All
know
right.
how you feel about this, but I'm going to go ahead and ask anyway. Full-fat Greek yogurt instead of non-fat. Can you use that?
I prefer that.
There you
the
go.
full
You
fat.
heard it here first.
I like any time I can get full fat, anything, I'm on that train 100%. Not that there's anything wrong with the low fat or zero fat. I think our Greek yogurt's actually really good, but I love the full fat flavor of the yogurt, and I actually
Okay.
love what it does in the stroganoff.
Yes.
Honestly. All right, you see how it's all bubbling away? I'm not going to crush our noodles. Again, we kind of create a little bit of velute with that flour in there. We've got the starch from the pasta. Usually in typical Italian restaurants, most Italian dishes, they will use a little bit of that pasta water because it has a lot of that emulsifying ingredient. It's got a lot of that starch in there, which will help thicken things, and that's what it's going to do to our stroganoff. All right, the tater tots are so good. I want to cut this tiramisu. Can we do that? Can I plate you up tiramisu now?
Yes, please.
Can we start with tiramisu?
Okay, guys, this is it.
I think
Place
I'm
your
just-
bets. Place your bets. It's
Really, really nervous about how this is going to play out. But you know what? I have full faith that, whatever happens, Charlotte,
You're
you'll still
seeing
be
it
my
live
friend.
for the first time.
You'll still be my friend. I don't even know what to put it on. I'm like, what can I put it on? All right, here we go. Are you ready for this? Whoo, man. All right. Feet don't fail me now. All right, so this is one I made, and I, again, have no idea what it's going to look like when I unmold it, but I feel really good about the recipe that we did, so I know it's quality. I just don't know how artistically it's going to be. So let's just do a little unpan. So
Okay.
it's held together because the plastic's on it, Scott. I know, we'll get there.
We're
but
going
watch.
to do this. This is
I'm
going to be
gonna
amazing.
unpan the tuck fold here. Are you nervous? I know you're nervous. I can feel it.
I
Charlotte.
have so much faith in you, Chef.
Can I borrow some? I mean, it's going to be fine. All right, you ready for this? Watch this. All right, we're going to take this. We're going to fold it over. Say a quick prayer. Do a little wait. Pulling
Drum
it
roll,
off. All right, here we go.
please.
Well, look at this. Guess who doesn't have to do dishes on that guy? You don't. All right, so.
Teresa
we're going
says
to-
it'll work. She believes in you too.
It's a lot of faith. It's a lot of people to fail right now. I can't. It's a lot of pressure. Here we go.
Megan believes it's going to work.
I should have like had a little like pop smoke, like a little thing. It worked. All right, now we just got to cut it. All right, my tater tots
This
are done.
is the test, though.
I'm telling you, man. Look at these. Come on.
Okay, while you're
See that
pulling
tater
those out,
tots?
I do have a question about the tater tots. We had a viewer that wanted to know about freezing the tater tots.
Yes.
And then using them, you know,
Yeah.
later. Can she
Absolutely.
fry them from frozen and
Let them,
what do we do?
you should be able to. In full
Okay.
disclosure, I have not tested that, but it is a potato, and there's not a ton of extra moisture we're putting in there. You should be totally fine to do it. Just start with maybe a little less hot oil and kind of work your way up, but it should be fine. If anything, I would let them like slack out for like maybe just 20 minutes while your oil's heating, and then fry them.
And then for those of you that don't know what slack out means, which is a kitchen term.
Not slacker, slack out.
It means
right?
defrost.
Different. Defrost, exactly. What we would love you to do, if you ever cook these dishes and you're watching these classes, please, please, please tag us in them. We'd love to see what you do. We'd love to see your progress. I'm going to turn the fryer down. I'm going to leave this guy on. Now, it's imperative, hit your tater tots, a little bit of salt as soon as they come out of the fryer, because that hot oil is going to kind of help them stick to it. All right, let's cut this bad boy.
All right, here it is, guys.
I'm telling you, it's nerve-wracking. All right, I need a better...
Is that a pastry brush in your pocket?
Yeah.
Like your holster?
You don't go anywhere. Yeah, it's in my... Look, at some
Quick
point,
draw.
Charlotte, you and I are going to be stranded somewhere, and you're like, if only we had a pastry brush to help get us out of this danger, and I'd be like...
Okay.
One day you'll see, Charlotte. One day you'll be like, you know what? I will never,
here it
ever
is.
doubt you again. All right, I'm going straight down. I probably shouldn't have started right in the center
No, it's
of
perfect. You did a perfect job.
I want a big piece of this.
That's my piece.
What? Get out of town.
Ooh
All right,
la
I'm using a
la.
fish spatula.
That's a perfect
Also
tool.
a perfect tool for your... Now, should I go... You want to go face down or face up? How should we... how do you want to plate this?
Oh, just like that. Just perfect.
Does that work? All right, wait.
Yep.
I got some poached strawberries. So here's our... Rob, there's your front angle.
Oh, look
Let me
how
grab
great
your,
that looks, y'all.
You grab your strawberries. Some fresh strawberries. Now,
Yes, please.
the recipe calls for a little shaved white chocolate over the top. Charlotte almost threw something at me last time I started to decorate with white chocolate, because you're not a white chocolate fan,
I
Charlotte?
am not
Is
a
that
white.
the-
I don't know why they call it chocolate. There's actually no chocolate in it. It's
cocoa
just
butter.
Cocoa
It's
butter.
It's in the family.
Okay. Well,
Appreciate it if
I
you would
feel like
call
it's
white chocolate the
it's
same. It's
deceiving.
its cousins.
It's deceiving.
A little fresh poached strawberries. Some on the side here. So can I just put just a little dusting of
Yes, you can. A little dusting. You can shake. Okay, and stop.
a little shaved white chocolate. How do we do that? I'll show you in just a second. We plate up the tater tots because tater tots are ready. This is like, I don't even know where to put this. Now, this is not the vessel. Again, this was all kind of like shooting from the hip, but I think we made it work. A little tiramisu. I'm going to put this bad boy right over here. So you can see that, Rob. I'm going to move this guy out of the way. Our strawberries, our tater tots are ready to go. Here we go. So this stroganoff is looking good. It's getting thick. We're good to go on that. Our kind of final plating here. My tongs. And I like tater tots. Honestly, can go with pretty much anything you want to serve them with. A little bit of sour cream. One of my favorite go-to sauces, get a little creme fraiche, some shallots, some lemon zest, some lemon juice, a little salt, and just kind of whisk it all together really quickly. Really, really simple. But have a little fresh chives over your tater tots.
Ooh, yeah, beautiful.
Little fresh
Croquettes.
chives.
You can call
Some
them
tater
croquettes
tots, some
and make 'em
tiramisu,
fancier.
last but certainly not least. I'm really excited, not only just for the stroganoff, but I'm actually kind of, look how beautiful that is. See how much of that liquid it soaked up? All those noodles. So you can do what Charlotte Samuel does to figure out when your pasta is finished cooking. You simply take a strand and throw it against the ceiling wall, right? That's how you do it? Just like that? That's the chef way to do it. Otherwise, you can just tear into it and taste it if you want to. I kind of like the throwing at the ceiling thing. Does that work with every pasta chef when you do a throw at the ceiling? Is that a
Always.
recognized?
Yeah, that's actually that is
Don't throw your pasta
that
at the
is
ceiling.
untrue.
Trick.
Don't throw your food against your wall. All you have to do is just cut into the piece of pasta, and you'll know.
True story. My wife got a gift one time because she's Italian that has a little red man, a little Italian man, and you put him in the water, and it's supposed to start singing when it tells you your pasta's done. I never could understand that, but it's pretty close. All right,
Pretty
these
cute. Do
noodles
you
are.
still have it? Would you bring it?
I still have
Will
it.
you bring
I
it
kid
to
you not.
work just for fun?
You can post it on Instagram if you think I'm lying. I'm not even kidding you. It's like, it is a real, he exists. We've never, ever used him to put in our pasta water because I feel like I don't even understand how somebody got to do that. All right, this is good. Let me just show you this real fast. We're wrapping
Okay.
up. Let me wash my hands off real quick.
Yes, yes. I'm
The
sorry.
potatoes. So you're eating stroganoff in the right amount of time, but I want to show you my strawberry tiramisu here. So this is the one we did that I did earlier. I'm just going to cut this little band off here. Again, I was thinking proactively because I know we're all short on time. And the last thing you want to do is a bunch of extra dishes. And I love my borosilicate casserole dishes and bowls, but this is a great time saver. And again, you can just cover it up and it's ready to go. But this is how it looks in the 9x13. Just so you can see that.
Ooh.
So you do a little, and then you just scoop that out, and you're good to go. I don't want to mess this up.
Don't mess it up. It's too beautiful.
I'm like, I could, but I'll end up doing like my, like
people want you to open up this tater tot. They want to see the steamy good inside. We need the big reveal.
Of course.
Okay.
Let me move this guy out of the way.
I got you, Melinda.
Melinda,
yes.
you did what I should have done earlier.
Okay. Ooh la. Look at the steam.
It's that shell. See all that little, you get all that little potato flavor. So it's all cooked, but it's all kind of shredded. You get some good texture in there.
Light and airy.
This right here is like all shell fried goodness right there.
Yes, I'm here for that.
Melinda,
okay.
that's for you.
Well, I don't have a dipping sauce, and I'm a little upset about this.
You don't need it because with the Braggs and all the stuff we got in there, the chili powder, the garlic powder, the onion powder, all the white pepper, it's so good on its own. All right, you ready for this? Here we go. The pasta. We're ready to plate. Oh, mama.
Oh, my gosh.
I think hot food should always be served hot, right? Got to have it nice and hot. Clean my bowl out there. So, Charlotte, you were asking about this bowl.
Your artisanal bowl?
Why, yes, it is an artisanal bowl, and how fantastic
Where
of you
did
to
you get
notice.
this bowl?
It's called Haven and Key, and it's from H-E-B, and you look at the top, you can see that it's not an even bowl. It's amazing. I thought this was like $70 to $80 at like Williams-Sonoma when they found it, and they were like, no, this was H-E-B.
It's this nice organic, rustic shape.
My favorite bowl I've ever seen at H-E-B. That's
it has that modern country or modern farmhouse look vibe.
Modern farmhouse vibe. That's kind of your thing, right? Modern farmhouse?
I don't know.
Kind of more? No?
I don't
French
know.
farmhouse? No?
I mean, I guess we would call my wishy-washy, eclectic. I don't know.
Is that an actual thing? All right, here we go. You ready for this, Rob? Here we go. Nice and hot. So she come to the table, folks, right here. And I'll give it a little hot as
Look
can
at
be.
that. The sky cam. Can you put another dollop of yogurt on that for me, please?
Would you like another dollop of yogurt?
I
Yes.
would.
Let me give
I
a
like
little...
to watch it melt into the sauce or into the dish.
Yeah, I can absolutely do that. Watch this.
My personal chef here.
I got you. Hey, it's called teamwork, right? All right, a little. I don't think I can cannelle this yogurt as well.
It's okay.
Come on.
You don't have to cannelle it.
All right, a little fresh chives.
Yes, please.
Very, very simple. A little fresh parsley if you got it. Really, really easy to do. Boom and boom. A little yogurt on the side. Extra everything you need. Guys, super, super simple. Really easy to do. Again, it's all about kind of like exploring the best of what is in store. And right now, the best of what is in store is all these fantastic Texas products.
What did you say earlier? It was Texas Fields?
Texas Fields to Texas Tables.
Genius.
I didn't write that.
You didn't?
Again,
oh.
Really small light bulb
I
goes
thought
off.
you wrote that.
They tell me the good things to say, and I get to say them.
Okay.
But again, guys, thank you so much for joining us. Don't forget, if you missed anything, please go back to our YouTube channel. You can go back and watch the last year and a half of fantastic content. Our celebrity chef friends, Chef Charlotte, me, all the great wine stewards, all the great information, our Texas backyard, flower arrangements, everything you may have missed, live shoppable events, all live, all for you on YouTube. Simply go there, youtube.com/HEB, to check out what's coming up next. Next week, Charlotte, on our YouTube, back up. Our HEB.com/classes is how you figure out what's next and how you rewatch us and come back every week to watch what new fun things we've got in store for you. HEB.com/classes. Charlotte, what is next week's class all about?
And next week, March 3rd, we have the springtime seafood class with Chef Scott.
Just in time for Lent. So all your Lent ideas, really, really simple, great menu, really, really easy. We're going to show you how to sear perfect scallops. You don't want to miss it. Guys, God bless you. Thank you so much. Charlotte, thank you so much for being the fantastic moderator that you were. Guys, thank you so much. We will see you next week. God bless.